Hello and welcome to the AllMadeUp podcast with me, Harry Stachini.
Me, Lewis Coleman.
And me, Ben Hart.
The show where each week a guest joins us in the writer's room to create a story like you and we have never heard before.
Not quite knowing what's around the corner or what we'll find along the way, as this podcast is exactly what it says on the tin.
It's all made up. Every week, I can't do it different every week. They don't appreciate it then, so.
Yeah, I just liked it nice and casual this time.
Clean.
Yeah.
Just clean.
When I turned round to you then, Harry, when I said my bit, I looked at you and you were looking at me like this.
Oh, really? Yeah. Just an afters. Like that. Should we get a taxi?
Proper Gurn Central.
But hello to everybody that's watching, listening. Thank you very much for tuning in to another episode. We want to give a quick shout out to say that we are running out of prompts. And if you know what they are, you know what I mean, we throw them in along the way. Lewis calls them curveballs.
Everyone else in the world
calls them swerve balls, doesn't he? We call them curveballs. But we need them. So if you've got any lines you want to throw into future stories, just send them into @AllMadeUpPod and we will print them, stick them in the pot, and then you'll feature on a podcast. And, what better way to get involved with the pod than to contribute a line to the pod?
Yeah, we'll start running more polls as well, so it makes it easier for people, I reckon. That's a good way of doing it, maybe.
Yeah. To remind people to send them in.
Yeah.
I think the most, frequent sender of lines is Sam the Man.
Yeah.
Sam the Man sends in some
Who was a previous
belters.
guest, which isn't a great advert for the podcast. It'd be great if our most frequent...
Yeah. But the main thing is, you're listening.
Yeah.
It'd just be great if you could do fucking more.
Yeah, just do more. We want more from you. We want more
Sat in
from
your
you.
ass, listening. That's all you're doing, yeah.
Listen it, enjoying it, but get involved. Do that next step.
Yeah, and just, it can be anything. Absolutely anything. It could be song lyrics. We did a gig the other night. Last night, Killer Comedy. It was our last show of the year. And
big congrats. I think, how many shows did we do this year?
We did double figures, wasn't it? We did a fair
Double
few.
figures, few venues.
Yeah. Thousands of people.
Money in the bank.
Money in the bank,
Yeah.
money in the pocket. And, our minutes in the tank on stage. That's the main thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We had the brilliant Ben Bart.
Yeah, Ben Bart, they put me as, Imagine my disgust when my friends spelt my second name wrong.
Yeah.
I've been writing it for the past 27 episodes, or whatever it is.
Bit of context for listeners. So obviously me and Harry run Killer Comedy Club, which you already know, but Ben performed for us, and on the poster which went out online and on print, he was known as Ben Bart instead of Ben Hart, and I don't think he liked it. He didn't like that.
No,
it's
all right.
Bring your mic down a bit, Ben.
Sorry,
Just
mate.
on your fucking nose there.
Ben Bart would do that.
Yeah, Ben Bart is going to be a character in this at some point, isn't he? He can be your, what is it? Your alter ego.
Yeah, you Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, well, yeah. I like
But
it.
my favourite part, you were great last night.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's,
a lot of energy, a lot of... It was an experience.
It was wild.
It was fun. No, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
My
Great.
two favourite moments was one of you. I'm not going to reveal your joke because I don't want to ruin
Sorry,
it.
you can tell me if you want.
You doing your own joke and then going, that is shit.
Yeah.
But people laughing and then you calling yourself out and going, that is such a dad joke. That is shit. You shouldn't be laughing at that. And people are dying laughing. And then you tell them to shut up.
Yeah, the women on the front row, they were, where were they from again? Prestwich, Bury. They kept changing where they were from.
Yeah,
Salford.
I think she's moved around with social housing, hasn't she? That's where she's... Nothing wrong with that, but I think she's been married a couple of times, put it that way.
Yeah. It was funny though, mate. And then I at one point, you were doing a bit of material and you went, that is a Nazi myth, right?
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Yeah. And I turned, and Lewis's face had turned inside out with laughter.
No, it's a bit about carrots when they say, like, is it real or bullshit? Carrots help you see in the dark. It was a myth that the Nazis put out.
Really?
Yeah, because there was a shortage of carrots, so they wanted to make everyone in the UK panic.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell, really?
yeah.
I thought you just said it like sort of...
No, it's a true story, but it sounded obviously really flippant with no
That is-
context.
That is mental. I just imagine like the high command of the German army sat in an office being like, we need to terrify the British. What shall we do?
And also that they can't see in the dark.
Yeah, exactly. I have an idea.
We've got lights.
Yeah, he's like, why are you talking like that?
But yeah, it was a very good night. Harry hosted once again, but Ben, they're telling people to shut up. And then what I also liked was when you was telling the joke and someone laughed, you wouldn't just let them laugh. You go, just wait till the end of the joke. It's going to get even better. Yeah. But anytime anybody, like no one could enjoy the build up to anything because you were going, no, just wait.
It's part of that, mate. They love it. They love it because people get like. They get a bit nervous sometimes, and then they start laughing when I go, and I was in Bury the other week, and people go, ha ha ha. I was like, what are you laughing at? Yes, that's not the joke. Yeah, stop it. And then they like it even more. People love being showered at.
I think at one point as well you said, God, I'm so talented.
Well, you don't got to back yourself there.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it was great. And obviously Liam Pickford, who we had on at the start, who's been on the pod, episode number 3.
He set the bar, I think, for that.
Yeah.
That's his 3rd gig he's done of ours, isn't it?
Yeah, and he was hungover as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he got on stage and went, I'm Liam and I'm fucked. I was like, yes.
Here we go.
Yeah, I love him on stage. And then we had Josh Jones as well, who is going to be on the podcast in the coming episodes.
Yeah, been on all sorts. Him now, hasn't he? Jonathan Ross Shaw, and then what else has he done? He's done BBC stuff, Channel 4 stuff.
Yeah, couple of panel shows. He's done.
Panel shows, yeah.
All made up stuff.
Yeah, he's going to be on All Made Up.
He was like your fan club last night, though, that audience.
Oh, mate, I've got to tell you this, listeners, viewers. This is unbelievable. So the demographic for last night, which I think is rare for a comedy club.
Absolutely.
It was 90% women.
Yeah.
90% women. And I'm not saying Harry was the draw, but Harry was the draw.
I'm surprised he made it out.
Yeah. I think, what did I say? It was legs, bums and mums.
Yeah. Legs, bums and mums.
Yeah.
That's the new tour. Yeah, it was funny. There was a lady that travelled all the way from Grimsby. Yeah, Grimsby.
Yeah.
Which we're not going to repeat what you said, Ben. You fucking absolute swine.
I got dared by Lewis.
Yeah,
he dared me,
well, if he jumped off a ridge, would you? Exactly.
Off a ridge.
Yeah, ridge. Yeah.
Not as dangerous. Oh, I'm not doing a bridge, but I'll do a ridge. No, she said to us afterwards, she went, "You were aggressively charming."
Yeah, that's what I said.
I think everybody called you that, Ben.
Yeah.
That wasn't a unique thought for her. That was what we collectively...
She'd come all the way from Grimsby to watch Harry. Give her some slack.
Yeah.
Anyway, who have we got on the pod today, Harry?
On the podcast today, we have the brilliant Callum Oakley, who is a fantastic comic, does a lot of tour support for Paul Smith, who, if you don't know who he is, I don't know why you don't.
Are you living under a rock?
Yeah.
He's got TikTok.
I like to use both brilliant and fantastic. It's usually fantastic or brilliant, the way you describe them, but you've gone for both of them today for Callum.
Yeah, well, I was about to say as well, you might recognise him. Callum was first on television when he was 16 on Britain's Got Talent, and he got beat by Pudsey the dog, which,
that dog's dead now, isn't it? So who won in the end?
Yeah, fucking 1-0 Cal. But we're buzzing to have him on. He's a good mate of mine, and very good comedian. I also know as well, he might have a podcast coming out very soon.
Oh, really?
But hush.
What? Why? Because you're on it and you don't want us to go on it? Is that what it is?
No, it's
classic.
not that.
Yeah.
Hey, lads, it's not that. It's not that.
I bet you've been on Have a Word and you'll be on Joe Rogan next week. But I didn't mention it.
Yeah.
I always mention the pod
After.
Yeah. We've been trying to organise a Christmas night out, if you didn't already know. And me and Ben was like, let's sort a Christmas night out. Harry, busy, gigging. Gigging. And he's only been out like on 3 nights out, I'd say, with like different people, with no invite for us.
Also, they were also spontaneous, which meant that he was free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What have you got to say to that?
Callum Oakley's on the show. That's what I'm going to say to that. We are going to have a Christmas beer. We're going to make it happen.
A beer. A Christmas beer.
Beers.
That's all I've got time for.
Lads, honestly, it's gonna go off in December. But it's going to go off in today's episode. And as I say, our guest is the brilliant Callum Oakley. So we'll be back with him very, very shortly.
This is All Made Up with Callum Oakley. Just add that bit on at the end. That's what I like.
Sorry.
It's all made up again. It's all made up again. It's all made up again. It's all made up again.
And we're back, everybody, with the brilliant Callum Oakley.
Yes.
Welcome, Cal.
Thanks for having us, boys.
No, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to the pod. I was going to say back on the pod, but just thanks for coming to the pod.
Well, a bit of pretext. Callum has done this podcast in its
infancy,
beta stages.
Yes, that's
in its beta stage, and it was a brilliant pod, which one day might actually get released. On the Patreon, which we might eventually set up one day.
We will. It was chaotic, though.
It was chaotic.
It was,
Rowan Atkinson, a dog. Colosseums.
Yeah, as a Roman,
He had a
turned
chihuahua.
into a dog, didn't he?
Yeah, he was fighting for his fucking life. As
it was great.
Yeah.
Was it Bruce Springsteen in it as well? You went on tour with Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, I was on tour for a little bit.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great, but I remember at the time thinking, if anyone listens to this as the first episode, they'd be like, "What is happening?" Yeah.
That was just a little gap into my brain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a bold step into the internet.
What have you been getting up to anyway, Carl? I know have you been on tour with Paul Smith?
Yeah, I've been on tour with Paul, Dan Nightingale as well, which has been really fun.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it's been sick. And then this week with Paul, it's doing his last tour show. So
Right.
going to Amsterdam, doing like a show there.
Right.
In what arena?
In I think it's called Boom Chicago.
Oh, nice.
I think
What's it
it's
say?
nice. Oh, I don't know. Like
What has been like? Because obviously you've played a lot of theatres now, I imagine. What has been like the standouts in terms of like, is it a particular place in the country, or is it like, wow, this looks amazing?
From the tour, this tour, that's just he's done now. The best one where I felt like, oh shit, like this is fucking mental. It was like the Belfast Arena he done.
Yeah, I seen that.
That was just like, you know, like where you just like,
Yeah.
Too many people there.
yeah, it's just crazy. Like that, I think it was like 5,000 or some shit. Or
Jeez.
4,000
What was
or
the
something.
noise like in there? You know, like when you delivered a joke and you sort of hear that laughter coming back at you. What is it like? Fucking hell, that's loud, mate. Or
Absolute silence after Callum.
yeah.
The noise of the chairs folding up. Was, I was like, oh, applause breaks. Oh, now they're getting up. Yeah, it was just like it just rolls the laugh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's like
it's amazing.
it just like I don't know. It's hard to like it just hits you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah. But yeah, it was crazy. That was like probably the best one I've done.
Wow.
That's nice.
I just felt like
Yeah. Were you there for dance at the Liverpool, was it Philharmonic?
no,
whatever
I
it's
didn't
called.
do that one. He had Dean Coughlin.
That was his final show, though, wasn't it? His
Yeah,
tour.
that was
That's
it.
amazing.
It was so cool though.
Yeah.
That was a sick show.
I say I'm looking forward to seeing that because I've not seen I saw his new show and it's like infancy stages, and he was kind of very much in the weeds working it out.
Yeah. I love that. I love watching work in progress shows from comics like that. You know, when you can
Yeah.
see them trying it out. Because you watch it and you're like, oh my God, like I'd be happy with that now.
Yeah.
I would tour that. And then you watch like the end bit and you're like, oh shit, like someone who's like a master of what they do.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Well, you must be learning like so much as well, like on the road, like tips and tricks and things that they do.
Yeah, and it's as well like going on like cold. So like when they're not there to see you.
Yeah.
Because then you have like a different energy when you go to an actual gig where there's other comics on.
Well, because I think people, when they go to see these comics, they don't necessarily know that they're going to be seeing someone else first. A lot of the time, they're just going, "Oh, we've come for this guy. Is he actually going to be on?" Because that's who we've paid for tickets for. So it must be hard, like them coming on and like feeling that energy.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, it's like with Dan's one, like their podcast are like proper comedy fans.
Yeah.
Like they're all there and they even say on the podcast, like if you come into one of our shows, don't be a dickhead.
Yeah.
And everyone who goes there has like that mentality of like, we're not going to be a dickhead. And because they introduce so many comics, they feel like they kind of know them anyway. So when they go on, it's not like a brand new person.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
Let's see what he says.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Whereas like Paul's, obviously, he's famous for that sort of confrontational sort of like.
Yeah.
thing.
Like
So do they expect that from you as well then? Or?
Not really. Like it's different with Paul's one because he goes on first.
Right, okay.
So he before, like when he brings a support act on, he goes, oh, I'm going to bring someone on stage who's like, he's a really good mate of mine. I want to bring people from like, I've seen in like a comedy club. I want to bring them with me to show you like why I like them and that.
Okay.
So he gives you like a different type of introduction of what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's still cool because everyone's like, oh, right, well, if he likes him, then we'll like him.
Yeah.
Apart from in Sunderland.
Yeah, okay, just there.
Oh, mate. This was like the other week. Paul was on, he was smashing it. And he went, right, I'm going to bring your support act on now. His name's Callum Oakley, you're going to absolutely love him. And I'm like behind the curtain, ready to go on. I can just hear like loads of movement. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck's going on out there? And like, as I walk past them, he just looks at me and like gives me a little smile. And like 70% of the room have already gone up and left the room before I even touched the microphone.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, whoa, okay, because they're just going for like a smoke.
Yeah, of course.
Like, they're like, okay, I've seen Paul. Now I want to use this
Yeah.
as a toilet break because it's going to be so busy in the break. And then I'm ready to watch him do his hour or hour and a half,
so
whatever he
funny.
does. But yeah, I was just on and I was like, I'm just going to have to MC the shit out of this because I can't go into material because it's just going to be pointless.
Yeah.
So I was like doing that and I was getting like little laughs and stuff. And I was like, right, I'll do material now. And then as I was doing it, like a fight broke out because someone sat in someone else's seat, like at the top thing, and I was like, oh no. And then at the end, I was like, right, I'm getting off now. And then just one woman at the front started clapping. And I went, I will take that all day. I'll have that. And then other people started clapping that. They were like, wait. But after shows like that, you get messages of people who were like genuinely there to what, like, you know, they're like, oh, like you done really well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you get more messages from gigs like that than when people are just, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think they appreciate that you're trying to give them their money's worth. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not lost on them.
Just like on that topic that you said about when you went on and people were leaving, right? Okay. I don't know if you've ever seen Richard Pryor live in concert, right? But when that was, they did 2 tapings of that. And the first show that they did apparently was awful. Like it just, he was like, it just didn't work. And the second show that evening, the recording starts with people. He walks on stage and people haven't even got to the seats yet. And for the first 5 minutes, you're watching this guy doing obviously a massive recording just while people are coming in, and he's like riffing with the crowd, and that is like magic to watch. And then obviously he gets into his show, and like the one thing I really enjoyed about Richard Pryor when I was a kid was like how personal his material was, right, in terms of how he writes. And you're like that with your stuff. Like I remember, I'm not giving anything away. Do you do a bit about like a mushroom trip or something like that? Yeah. And like that story that you do, it isn't like, it's not a joke in itself, like pull back and reveal. It's more like the experience of you bringing everyone into that world. So when you write stuff, then do you have to like wait for life to happen to you and then report back, or like how do you work in terms of that writing style?
I think it varies, because I feel like if you kind of wait for something to happen to you, you're not going to write anything for a while. And you kind of like that mushroom thing. Like, that just happened, and I remember talking about it, and someone was like, you should do that as a bit. Like, I didn't think it was a bit.
Right.
It gives a bit of context on the bit. Like, not the joke itself, but a bit of context.
It's just basically going to the way, like, I worded it was, so I was actually, like, Paul's house when we were doing it, but, like, the way I worded it on stage is that I go to some random person's house. So it gives it, like, because you've got to kind of bend the truth to...
You're embellishing. You're embellishing.
Because when I go, like, on stage, I was like, oh, so was that Paul Smith? Like, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, just do your bit. So I was like, do that. And then I just do, like, a whole thing of, like, where we all have mushrooms, and they started pulling, like, instruments out. So, like, someone was, like, doing bongo drums and stuff, and, like, hitting, like, a metal bowl. And then you can just, like, feel, like, all the vibrations of it, and you're just like, whoa, like, this is a bit mad. But there was actually... I ended up going like on a really mad trip, because Paul was like, I'm going to put this music on. He was like, we're all just going to lie down with our eyes shut. And I was just lying there. And you know, when I get your eyes shut and you're like, are they
Shaming
just like...
Paul Smith.
Are they... I was like... I was like, you know, when like... I just felt like they would be doing something around me, like taking the piss out of me.
Yeah.
You know, because you just got your eyes shut. And it's like you feel a little bit vulnerable anyway, because I'm like, I wake up and there's got like balls in my face or some shit. You're like,
It's an ancient healing technique. Touch him.
You have to suck the balls to go on the trip. So we just ended up going like this mad trip, and I just started having like flashbacks to like all like mad little moments in my life. And there was like a point when I was playing with like a stone, like a mad little crystal. He was like, Paul was like, hey, I'll have a go with that.
Mythical.
Have a go with it.
Oh, mate, I was just sat in his like playing with this crystal, and I was so like engrossed in it. Like I was just like, whoa, this is. And I don't know what happened, but I had a mad thing. Like I ended up having like a trip where I went back in time.
Okay. Right.
And I was watching me from a couch, but in like where I was watching it from, in front of my vision was like a woman and 2 kids. So I was watching from behind them, watching at me, and I felt like they were my kids. Right. And the woman said, "Don't mind your dad; he's just having his time." Like, because I was just playing with
having his time.
Yeah, and I just come out of this trip, and I was like, "I've just met me kids."
That is so.
And Paul was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I've literally just met me kids."
Yeah.
And I was like, "And I don't like them."
No. Imagine if you were like, I'm going to call one of them Crystal.
Yeah. The other one, Meth.
So have you been looking for that girl ever since?
Yeah, I've been looking for her, but yeah, so basically the story is like, I do like a big build up where I just get like bongo drums going and like metal bowls, and I start talking about the trip and all that, and it's just like, it's just a fun bit.
It is. Yeah, it's really fun. Like I remember I saw you do it like early doors, and then I've seen the complete version of it. But yeah, obviously this podcast is like writing its characters, its story.
Yeah.
And we're always interested to know what like people's writing styles are like, right? One of the things we're always interested in as well, right, is if you were to play a character, right, in a film or anything like that, what type of character would you want to play?
Oh shit. I think I'll be like a fun, like 80s cop. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll be at the table and that. I'll have whiskey in the drawer.
Police Academy type.
Yeah.
Really? Actually, I've got you as like Lethal Weapon, but you're what's his name? Oh, what's the little guy who Joe Pesci's character in Lethal Weapon? That's who I've got you as.
Is that what you got?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We've got different versions of
Right,
that.
okay.
Like, this is what you actually see. Like, to me, I'm like a cool guy. Okay. Right, okay. You're like, Callum, you're not. Like, I'm like, I'm a cool detective in the 80s. And I've always got like funky music on when I'm walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Bit of 80s synth.
Yeah.
A lot of denim.
Denim.
Yeah.
I'm
A
always
denim cop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Detective Denim.
A cop in
The Denim Detective. That would be the name of your film. You on the half turn. Like,
It's always half 10.
yeah, always.
Always half 10.
Yeah.
It's always boiling.
You can only spot crime at 45 degrees. Like,
What's that?
yeah, he's. That's cool though. So you'd be a detective.
I think so.
Nice.
I wouldn't be good.
Who cares?
But
You're a movie star. Who cares?
You
mate?
look great. You're in denim.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah, just going back to your caravan, just holding your crystal, trying to solve the crime. Like
Sewing on your police badge.
that is funny.
But yeah, I like that. I reckon we actually get into
Yeah,
the
I
story,
reckon
shall
we
we?
get into the
Right.
story, yeah.
So this is going to be all made up with Callum Oakley.
It's all made up, baby.
And we're back. So Callum, thank
go anywhere. You've been here the whole time. Am I still on mushrooms?
That was insane.
Dad proper threw me, you know.
I hope that's in slow mo because you're right. Oh, that was good.
It's 10 o'clock now, Callum.
I'm sweating. That really got to
It was a great story, Cal. Thank you so much.
You wake up, you're still in Paul's lounge.
Yeah, I've just met some more kids.
You know, where are his kids? They're still here.
Right, anyway, let's get into it. So, Callum,
Yeah.
we're back on the AllMadeUp pod. You already know the premise, but I'll repeat it again for listeners, viewers. We're going to be making a story together.
Okay.
We're going to be creating a world. In front of you, you've got a pot with a starting sentence, ending sentence, and some prompts in between to act as like swerve balls / curve balls. But before we do that,
Yeah.
we're going to build a character.
Okay, let's do it.
You're the lead writer in this room, and we're going to be helping you. Okay? Yeah. So what would you like today's character to be called?
Timothy Philay.
Timothy Philay,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A. The last name is spelled Filet, or is it Fillet?
Phil.
All right. Okay.
Right, okay.
AY.
Yeah.
Right, okay, none of them then. Okay, and what does he do for a job?
Timothy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not you.
I know what I was going to say. Hot dog stand.
Right, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
How old is he?
Like 17.
17.
good.
Right, okay.
Right. Okay. And he's-
18 next week, though.
Oh, right,
John,
okay.
So he works at a hot dog stand, or he owns the hot dog stand?
It's his stand. He's done well. Like.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Right, is it something, you know, like when people make lemonade stands, he's decided to do hot dogs instead, and he's been doing it for a few years. How long's this operation been going?
Got in early. Like his dad done hot dogs as well. So
Right.
it's like a long
Yeah.
line of like sausages and that.
comes from a long line of sausages.
Long line.
Yeah. You both said that then.
That's his dad.
Right, okay. And is it like there's multiple little hot dog stands around? Like, where is it? Where's it set?
17th century Japan.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Here we go.
That is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
17th century Japan. Like I don't know much about that time.
Really?
It's probably.
I know a lot.
Yeah. It's,
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon, just putting it out there, I reckon in 17th century Japan, there's not many Timothys.
Yeah.
No.
Are they is Timothy British and he's gone living in Japan in the 17th century, or is Timothy Japanese?
I think for the character, because I think if I do voices and that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want,
Japanese. No.
yeah, we want to release this one. So there's
He's English.
Is English.
Yeah.
Right. So the first thing we've probably got to figure out is
How did he get there?
how did he get there? Why is he there?
So his dad, he's English,
Right.
Go on.
You got to let them
Yeah,
roll
go
with
on.
it.
I've got an idea as well.
and his mum is English as well.
Oh, okay.
There was like a hot dog eating competition.
In Japan.
Well, it was in England. This is where it gets a bit tricky now
Right. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
because I'm just making it up on the spot.
Yeah. I like it though.
There was a boat. I was going to Japan
Right.
Yeah.
full of sausages.
Okay.
Right.
This is the mad bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Should we still let it roll with it?
Right.
So there's a boat. It's all for them to get to Japan.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I've
But
got
you
an
know what I
idea.
mean? Go on.
I've got an idea, right? This is historical, right? But basically, there was a lot of, they tried to like get Christianity going in Japan, right? A lot of like priests went across doing like what they call the mission.
Yeah.
And there was that film that was made called Silence, which had like Liam Neeson in it. And I think it was Martin Scorsese who made it. And there was lots of like kickback from Japanese, obviously, because they were like, we don't want to accept Christianity. So what if his mum and dad went across as like Christians, right? And obviously, no one said undercover. They were actually like loud and proud about being like, you should follow the ways of God, right? In the Christian faith. And let's say that Timothy's gone, that's not for me. I'm following the way of the hot dogs, and that's what I want to do. I want to start doing a hot dog stand. So maybe there's a bit of friction.
Well, I thought on top of that, they're thinking it's 17th century, remember? So the mum and dad are thinking, how are we getting to Japan? Like, we can't afford it, but I really want to go and deliver the mission. I really want to go there. So they've snuck on to the hot dog, the sausage boats, which you just mentioned.
Yeah, of course.
Snuck on there. They've gone, and I don't know whether or not this was 17 years ago, and they've been there ever since, or they've snuck Timothy on with them as well at age 17. Because the dad, they've had this hot dog stand for years, haven't they? So I'm reckoning they've travelled there in order to make money when they got to Japan. He started selling the hot dogs on the corner. They've had the baby over there, Timothy. It's 17 years later, close to his 18th birthday. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Just so we've got the context of how they've got there.
Yeah, okay,
I
I
think
get
that's
that.
quite
I think
nice.
that's nice.
I love how serious you used to what about that hot dog story.
Yeah, mate, hey, I've got it in my head. It's Chris, what?
Yeah.
Right,
It makes perfect sense.
yeah. And
Yeah.
and
Do you
that's
know
his,
what I mean?
that's his dream,
That's his dream.
selling hot dogs.
Selling hot dogs.
But I think one key piece of information, what we're forgetting, is, for me, a hot dog is processed meat, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So what is the actual hot dog? Because it's always been processed meat, a hot dog, yeah?
No, we used to have bratwurst and stuff. That's where the hot dog came from, wasn't it? In Germany.
Right, so it is.
When was it actually invented?
I don't know the date.
We're going to make it up.
Yeah,
It's all
It's
made up.
got
It's got to be a long time ago.
It's got to be after. Like the hot dog must have been before, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon they've been having hot dogs for a while.
Well, but this is up for us to decide. It's our writer's room, so we can say, was his dad the first guy to make the hot dog, or is he just bringing over the sort of hot dog
I think
philosophy?
on their travels to Japan, they've passed through Germany, right? I thought, tell you what, this is good, right? Let's get it in the east as far as possible.
Yeah, it's gonna
as
boom.
fast as possible. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, right? So he's gone across there, right? What's the name of this hot dog stand? Has it got any type of name, like, wieners and whatever, or
Wieners and buns.
wieners and buns?
Yeah, it
Buns and wieners.
Buns and wieners.
Buns and wieners. yeah. Buns and wieners.
Buns and wieners.
Right, so
So just do a quick recap, just so we've got it all crystal.
Yeah.
So Timothy is over in Japan now. He's 17, nearly 18, working a hot dog stand. The reason why they've gone over is because his mum and dad were missionaries, and they wanted to deliver Catholicism or Christianity, should I say, to the Japanese people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Timothy, we don't know at this point whether or not that's his bag. Like, what does he like? We don't really know what he wants to do.
Yeah,
yet.
he's a teenager. He'll be rebelling as well.
Well, he's nearly 18. He's nearly he's nearly an adult, isn't he?
Yeah.
So what would you say Timothy wants to do with his life? Does he want to find his love? Does he want to be successful in business? Like, what does he want?
I don't really think he knows what he wants yet. I think he's just going to work at the hot dog stand for now.
Right. Does he enjoy it?
Figure out Japan a little bit. I think he does.
Yeah.
Different culture. It might be quite a lot for him, mightn't it?
should we, just for to make it easy, should we put his hot dog stand in Tokyo? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Because I'm just off the top of my head, like Kyoto's like the oldest city, one of the ancient cities in Japan, isn't it? It's like lots of samurai and stuff like that. But Tokyo, maybe that's like up and coming. You know what I mean? Maybe Tom Cruise is there doing Last Samurai as we
Well,
speak.
it would have been the time of like the samurai would have been.
Samurai was about then.
Yeah, Samurai
That's
was
what I mean.
Yeah. I like how like your previous story was like it had this bit of like fighting element to it, and now we're just throwing in samurai, which I like.
Yeah.
17th century potential samurai on our hands.
Maybe that's how he cuts the buns.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, it gets him in a line and goes like with a samurai sword.
yeah.
That is. I
And
like
people
that.
like that's disrespectful. Stop doing that.
And does he wear traditional like Japanese dress, or is he what's he rocking attire wise?
Yeah, traditional. I think for
Right,
now.
so he's fully ingratiated himself in the culture.
He's fully gone for it.
Right,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
nice.
But he sticks out.
Yeah, of course he
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
I reckon we pick up our first prompt. Yeah?
Yeah.
I reckon if you pick one of the green ones out, Callum, and pop in Timothy where the blank is.
Timothy would travel only via animal.
Oh, okay.
That is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
He would travel only via animal, and then if you pick up a red one, Cal, we're going to find out where this story's going to end.
And that's why they sold their Mondeo.
And that's why they sold the Mondeo,
Okay,
right?
okay. Let's
But
get there.
we can make this work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got an idea, right? I reckon just to give it a little bit of a journey, right? I reckon he's in Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
Doing his hot dogs. And I just think that this is something we can work towards. Let's say the emperor has heard about these hot dogs arriving in Japan and he's like,
Yeah.
these are shit hot, these sound unreal, right? And he's based in Kyoto. So he's got to travel from
far is that?
Tokyo. I don't know, mate.
It's far.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Few days.
Yeah.
I think everywhere's fair in 17th century, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but he's got a Mondeo, remember?
Yeah, that's the name of his mule.
Mondeo.
Yeah,
Mondeo
yeah.
the Mule.
Go on, say the red one again.
And that's why they sold their Mondeo.
I like the name of his mule's Mondeo.
Yeah.
Mondeo the
Yeah.
Mule.
Funny.
But
You had a Mondeo in your first story that we did with you.
Probably, yeah. All comes well. Timothy, he started doing deliveries.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like now he delivers hot dogs.
Yeah.
He's the first one to do that.
Timaru.
Timaru. I like that. Yeah.
So
Right.
he's
So the emperor's tried these hot dogs and he's been like, "Wow, I want."
He's heard about them.
Yeah, I think he's heard
I
about
think
them.
he's heard about them.
Yeah.
And you're saying the journey, the quest, is for him to get to the emperor.
Yeah, from Tokyo to Kyoto, right?
Yeah.
And at that time, Japan's it used to be like lots of different sectors and things, lots of fights going on. Maybe he's got to pass through some like samurais, conflict. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, just buns and wieners, mate. You know what I mean?
Wieners coming through.
Yeah, exactly.
but also, if the emperor wants it, surely it can't be that hard to replicate. And somebody else, it could be like he's got to get there before somebody else.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so if the emperor wants it, people are going to be like, "This is a massive opportunity." I reckon I can replicate buns and wieners.
Well, I think the thing is, the emperor doesn't know what Timothy looks like.
Yeah.
So it's just whoever gets.
I think he'll spot him.
No. But what I mean is,
Look for the white man on the mule.
I think at this point, the emperor's just heard about the hot dogs and he's like, bring them to me.
Yeah.
So I think if he's trying to get to the emperor and people catch wind of this, he's going to have a lot of battles to try and keep his hot
100%.
dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
to
yeah.
be like, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I'm the hot dog guy.
Hot dog guy.
Sort me out when I get there.
Yeah. Right.
I quite like that.
Right. So
Yeah.
he's got. So the first time was he only travels by
Via animal.
animal. So what animal is he going to travel with?
He's got the mule.
The mule. Okay, it's mule. then.
Mondeo the Mule.
That is so funny. I love the idea of him like going to buy the mule on like a second-hand mule lot.
Yeah,
Right. And some guys like, you'll get good mileage out of this one.
Yeah.
He's like, what's his name? And he goes, Mondeo. I'll have it.
Yeah. Got a little
it's a good-
cassette
it's a good
player in it and that.
No,
Yeah.
he's asked like the person selling him what day it is, and he's gone Monday, and like he's burnt his fingers on. Oh, and he's gone Mondeo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's worked.
Just
Yeah.
because I'm thinking Mondeo's a bit random, isn't it? So let's just give that
Yeah, I like that.
what it deserved.
He's like, you're 17. It's a good first. It's a good first mule.
Yeah.
You don't want anything too fast.
It's got decent mileage.
Little layer plates on his bum cheeks.
That's funny.
You don't want anything too serious, lad. This is a good first mule for you. It'll get you where you need to go.
Nice. Is it? And he's obviously done like a check. He's like,
Checking its saddle.
Yeah, checking its saddle. Gives it leg its kick.
It's done its mule OT.
Checked its oil.
That's checked its soil.
I like this.
So he's and are his mum and dad like aware of the fact that he's going to go on this journey? Like, because let's say right.
I reckon that's the scenario. I
Yeah.
think it's telling him, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
well,
they kind of like it because he can help spread the message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of like what's going on
You could perhaps turn the Emperor of Japan.
into a Christian.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be an achievement.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That would be. That meant a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think, right.
That's not. I'm sorry. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said.
That's an achievement. Yeah.
He's 17, right? And if it's 17th century, his mum and dad, let's say that they're 40, pushing 50.
17's old, then I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon they're about 31.
Right, but this is what I mean. So that's why the mum and dad can't make the journey. I think they're too old to actually go and get there themselves. So it's like we're putting all our faith in you. So he's got a bit of pressure on his shoulders to actually get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he was humming and ahhing about what he wanted to do. And it's like, right, this is what I have to do.
It's my fortune.
It's my fortune.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like where we're going.
This all makes perfect sense.
So, just so we know then, right? Let's say he's received a scroll, right? You know, from the Emperor.
I think there's been like, because it's not individually to him. I think it's been like a nationwide sort of message.
Like,
I want these hot dogs.
Yeah.
Bring them to me.
Yeah.
right. So it's not a case of like Japanese whispers. Don't think that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah,
I think that was funny.
It doesn't want hot dogs. That's just a message what's got to them.
Is that? I don't think that.
But I was saying,
No, it wasn't bad. I was just like, what's he going to say? What's he going to say?
but the Emperor doesn't want a hot dog. That's just a message what's got to him.
That's exactly
We
it.
were trying to clear all the dogs, and they went, not dogs. And then it got through.
That's right. So
No, let's just say, I think for the purpose of the story, Emperor wants hot dog. They have hot dogs.
Yeah.
He's got to get there. Journey starts.
Okay,
Parents
cool,
have sent
right.
them. Sent Timothy on his way.
So he's packed this mule up called Mondeo.
What with? So sausages.
Yeah.
Sausages.
How many is it? How many is he taking? Because I'm thinking it can't. If it's just one, is like that's risky.
Yeah. It needs
So
to be a feast, doesn't it?
Yeah. How many hot dogs has he got on this mule? I'm just thinking.
yeah.
I'm thinking,
Is that how you hold your hot dogs?
I'm thinking. I've got about 50 of them.
What
in my
if?
house.
Well, I think. See, I don't want to give the ending away of the story, but I feel like Mule Mondeo, he's going to end up killing the mule to make the perfect hot dog for the Emperor.
Ooh,
Okay.
So he's the meat.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Oh, okay.
that
Do you
mate.
get what I mean?
Yeah,
That
but
is-
but he has no intention of that at the start, obviously.
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't tell Mondeo.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You can't say that.
Well, yeah. I think it's that thing of like he's got all these sausages, but he's going to be losing them along the way
Yeah.
throughout
Yeah.
these
Needs
battles.
to fund it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, by the time he gets to the Emperor, it's that decision of, have I got any sausages left? Do I have to kill Mondeo and
Yeah.
form into a hot dog?
Yeah.
Or anyway,
Yeah,
I think a reasonable amount of sausages would be like 1,000.
he's bringing 1,000 sausages.
1,000 sausages because they're not big.
No.
Yeah.
You can compact them, can't you?
No,
He's
yeah.
got them in sacks
Sacks.
on the side.
Every time you do
Yeah.
that, it looks like you're doing something dodgy to two fellas behind you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to visualize
Yeah,
what this mule looks like.
It's like saddlebags.
Saddlebags.
Just full of
Yeah,
sausages.
just brimming with sausages.
Sausages.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And the buns,
yeah.
1,000 buns. That, nah. Do you know what I mean?
Does he have a sidekick?
Yeah, maybe. I think. Yeah.
I think it's a lot. It's a lot to travel with by yourself.
I think his mum and dad send him with a samurai, right? Because they're
you
like
reckon?
the journey's long, it's
Yeah.
dangerous, and you need this lad.
Like a
who's-
chaperone.
But a samurai who will never be a samurai.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He will never become like he's a bit.
Yeah, he isn't quite good enough.
Yeah.
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 So he's got a bit
Still
of
got the wooden sword.
Yeah.
They've not given him the real one.
yeah.
Well, that's why he's doing private security. That's why he's doing private security because he never made it as a samurai.
Yeah, and it's like these two have met. They probably met. I don't know why I did that. With my hands.
That's a bet behind them both.
Yeah.
They're both here. And then they met.
Right. Okay. I really like where this is going. By the way, I think this is very good. Right. I'm just thinking in terms of meat, it's gonna go off eventually. So is there like a time frame, or do they keep like refreezing along the way?
No, I
or-
think they keep him in a brine, like you know what I mean. You get like soggy cock sausages.
Yeah. Soggy cocks. Yeah.
I reckon they're it's like
Jarred.
Yeah. I don't even say jar. I think they're just kept in like a liquid. Right, you know what I mean? And it just sloshes around.
Yeah, in these sacks.
Yeah.
It's vile.
Oh yeah. And that's
What an image! What an image this is.
But the smell would attract people because they'd be like, you know, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Good
And
job
animals.
he's got a sidekick though.
But also, so maybe he has got 3 days or something. Maybe he's got 3 days to get there because they will have a limit still, and it gives it a bit of tension.
Yeah,
then
there's
if
no
this-
seal. It's sort of like
Yeah.
Just What's the name of this sidekick? Are we
Yeah.
going traditional Japanese name?
I think with just a risk offence, we don't. I think maybe he's a. What was Tom Cruise?
What if it's Tom Cruise? Yeah, a guy who played a samurai. Yeah.
No, go on. Samurai's name.
Sarry Hachini.
Sarry Hachini.
Definitely taking some inspiration from that. Yeah. He could be Japanese. He could play left back for Fiorentina.
Sarry.
Sounds like a wonder kid.
Always smoking.
Yeah.
So what's his name?
Sarry Hachini.
Sarry Hachini.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I think we get a prompt in there now.
Yeah, I think they're just about to embark on this journey.
Yeah.
Let's get a prompt in.
The nun was scary, but she loved kissing.
The nun was scary, but she loved kissing.
Well, that's fine. They're on a Christian.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, let's say they've embarked on this mission. How many miles would you say? Harry, you seem to know a lot about Japan today. So,
Yeah. I reckon you're talking, it's probably 300 miles.
300 miles.
And that's a lot with it on a mule.
Yeah. Back in them days, they probably call them legions as well.
Legion, yeah.
But yeah, it's 300 legions from here. But yeah, I reckon, so let's just say 300 miles, right? And at that time, quite foresty. So maybe they come across a monastery in the, which is, part of that, like them trying to push Christianity, right? And they stumble in there to seek refuge after the first day's journey, right?
Right, okay. So the nun isn't a Christian. It's a different... Yeah, but what I'm thinking is it's like, if you're saying Japan is famously not a Christian place, why would there then be a monastery with a Christian
Well, they set
nun
up
there?
monasteries in India and stuff. When they went over there, they built monasteries and they set them up.
I thought the parents were going over to sort of
They were
deliver
the first ones,
Christianity.
weren't they?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right, sorry,
No, they've been there 17 years. Like you were saying, haven't they?
Right, okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah, they
okay.
are,
So,
yeah.
so maybe that's the little network.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
almost like little
Underground nuns and that.
milestones
Yeah.
that they reach, and it's like they've contacted them somehow. Yeah, and it's been like, my son's on his way. Please help him.
The maddest sentence in the world, underground nuns and that. Yeah.
And a finger gun.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I like how there's these underground nuns in 17th century Japan.
So the mum's like, when you get to this part of the forest, you'll meet Deborah. She came over with us. She was always fun.
Yeah, so she's English.
Yeah.
They've all travelled over on the boat
Yeah.
and spread amongst Japan.
That's what would have happened, yeah.
Right.
So they're like, she's like, when you get to here, you need to stop here. She
Yeah.
was the right
Yeah.
laugh, Deborah.
Yeah, but
She's a good egg.
Yeah.
she's 100 miles away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like the knackered, they've eventually found this forest, and the prompt was, what was it about the nun that she loved kissing?
She's scary.
Like, loved it though.
But she's scary as well.
a little bit scary, yeah.
A little
Yeah.
bit scary, but she loved kissing. So
Yeah.
did they see the monastery first, or did they like hear a sound in the forest? What is it? How did they find her?
I'm trying to think what happened on that day though, because you can't just do 100 miles with no events happening.
I
Yeah.
agree. That is a good point.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you're on a mule, you've got 1,000 sausages and buns
in liquid.
in liquid form.
More specifically, Brine.
You got Sarry Hachini with a wooden sword.
Yeah. He's just like, shadow fighting
He's shadow
for
fighting.
hours.
He's always on edge.
He's always on it.
Yeah.
Any sound.
I could have gone pro.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the injury.
Yeah.
Splinter.
Yeah. Did me ACL. Sent me back.
Sees a bee and cuts it in half.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a clean cut.
Yeah. That is funny.
With a wooden sword.
That's how skilled he is.
Yeah.
He's like, that was going to sting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I like as well, because I'm in my head, I just can't stop imagining these hot dogs in like almost like sacks.
Yeah.
But like it's like the material.
Like Hessian.
Yeah. So it's like there's a little drip.
Yeah, of course.
Like leaving a trail. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So that's the time element. It's like all the brine is just seeping out drop by drop
Yeah.
on this
Yeah.
journey. I just like that as an
Being
image.
followed.
Yeah.
Well, this is it.
Someone
You can
following the trail.
You can track him.
Someone who does rice bowls.
Right.
Took all the business.
Right. Okay.
Right, okay. So, like, the wok to go back then, that equivalent, right? Like, fast street food, right? Yeah. He's come across with his hot dogs. Yeah. Everyone's gone, fuck me, these are great.
Yeah.
Never mind that. Right,
The rice
so...
economy is just
And maybe he knows if he gets to Kyoto and the Emperor has it, he's gone.
game over.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even want to deliver
Never
them.
mind wok to go. Wok's are gone, mate.
You know? So, so the person with the what business,
I enjoyed that.
it's more about them stopping them and then the emperor not getting hot dogs at all, so it doesn't take away from their business.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I like that. So a bit of a different motive.
Right. So yeah, he's shadow fighting for a little bit of the time on the journey. Probably, yeah. He's after like 4 hours. He's like, "Can you just stop talking about how you're such an amazing warrior?" You know,
I was scouted.
Yeah,
I was scouted.
yeah.
I had trials.
Yeah.
He did have trials. Well, that's what it would have been. Samurai trials.
Is well, what if they start hearing like giggling in the forest or something, and like the brushes going past, like they're like getting close to this nunnery or monastery, wherever they go into, and they start hearing like in the forest, and then they're like, "What is that? What is that?"
Yeah, that is terrifying.
It's something, like, but then they're like, "What is it?" And then maybe
What about? So, like you said, 100 miles is a long time for nothing to sort of happen, no conflict. So let's say that this nunnery is like the place that they find just after this battle with this wok guy. You know what I mean? That's like the first test. So maybe they get, I don't know, 50, 60 miles. Yeah. This guy's following them. And then how does the confrontation start? How does he sort of come at them? You know what I mean? What's his technique?
They have a mule chase.
Right,
you know what I
okay.
mean?
So the what guy's travelling by mule.
Yeah.
As well, yeah.
And this is called Toyota.
Yeah.
Yaris.
that's his name.
Yeah, so he's I think they're in like a little mule chase and stuff.
Right, okay, so the mule chase going like, decent speed.
Slow.
It's slow, is it? Yeah. How fast does a mule go?
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching, you're just like, oh, this is
Like 6-7 mile an hour.
Mate, has he got a trainee samurai with him as well, or has he got an actual samurai?
Ooh, good
Or
question.
is he travelling on his own?
I think
He takes back up.
Yeah, it brings muscle.
He brings muscle.
Right, yeah.
That's his name.
Muscle, come on.
muscle.
Get on the mule.
He sells muscles.
Yeah. The mule's got stump pegs. He's got stump pegs on the mule's ankles, and he's stood and holding the mule's rear.
That is funny.
Right, so
I just imagine the mule's legs going up and him on the stump. That is funny.
Story, man. Okay.
So he's they're in this mule chase. They were like, "Stop!" and they're like,
Yeah, and I think they're like, as quick as you can. They're gaining on us. But it's like slow. And it's like, quick! And it just, they eventually catch up to him.
Yeah.
Go on.
They start throwing hot dogs.
"Well, yeah," and that's what I was gonna say. And their mule slips on all these these slippery hot dogs.
Yeah.
But then they've used like 10 hot dogs and they're like,
just fires an explosion when the mule
So
crashes.
they're trying to lose weight with the...
speed. You're like, we need to lose some.
Losing weight of the hot dog so they gain traction. They get faster. What guy? Mule slips, crushes the guy on the stump pegs at the back.
Yeah.
First crisis averted.
And then like a slow-mo shot of a hot dog whacking a guy in the face. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like that. That'd be a great shot. That
Hits Wok and he's like, they are good.
Yeah. That's a nice little challenge they've faced there. Challenge.
Yeah. Muscles at the back, just box. Crushed under the weight of a mule. Yeah.
I like how it was called muscle and just showed none of it.
Yeah.
So just short introduction as well. I was like, there's muscle now. He's dead.
Yeah.
Right. So I reckon they're like lost weight. They're in a bit of a panic. Hear the giggles in the forest.
Yeah.
I like bringing that back in.
Yeah.
It's a scary nun. So how does she approach them all?
well, she's lived in the forest for 17 years. She's gonna look scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
100%,
I reckon she's mental. Like, I don't think she's well.
Yeah. And she's also not seen a man in 17 years.
Exactly, yeah. And she
Timothy coming in with a big sausage. And
comes out the woods being like, I could smell you from miles away. You know what I mean? You're like,
But she loved kissing as well.
Yeah.
Loves kissing.
Why have you got a bag of dicks with you? You're like, what? I love kissing. You're like,
They're all like, "Why are you so broad?"
And like the little trainee samurai's actually hiding behind Mondeo. Like,
So yeah, they're like, "Well, if you want to stay here tonight, I do remember your mum.
Yeah.
Back then, the reason I got sent away to this forest is because I was a bit too excitable.
yeah.
You know, they were like, know what they used to back then. Oh, she got an independent mind. That girl. We need to send her into the.
She tried to shag a monk.
Yeah.
And they were like, you've got to go.
Yeah.
You know what I like? The idea of this romance being, you know, Dodgeball, where the sort of nerdy guy falls in love with the Don Tradivashki. Yeah. I like the idea of the sidekick, like, falling in love with her a bit, but having to leave her. You know what I mean? Because they're on this quest, and it's like, no, I have to protect Timothy.
Yeah.
But there's that sort of like love interest there.
He'll do anything to save him.
Yeah.
So she goes to kiss him,
Yeah.
and then he jumps in front of it.
Yeah.
Like the bodyguard.
I reckon he goes to kiss her and he like blocks it with his sword, right? And her lips meet his blade, right? His wooden blade, right? And he pauses and he goes, stop. And then she like looks at him like that, and he goes, "I'll be the one to take the kiss." Oh, yeah. And I think
You should do that in a nightclub.
Yeah.
That would work.
But like, it's like,
I'll kiss you if you don't know.
yeah. But
Go.
so he stops her lips with his wooden blade, right? And then goes, "I'll be the one to kiss you." And then she like looks down the sword at him like that, right? And then
Slides her lips.
yeah, all the way down. That.
The covenant splinters. The lips are cut.
That is
Why
funny.
did you do that?
Yeah.
Just take your lips off her.
Yeah, that is funny.
She's stuck to the blade.
Yeah. By the time she gets to the bottom, she's actually got whiskers.
No, it shaved her, and she looks beautiful. She's like, yeah, and that's what it's shaved her. What if then that's where he sees her and goes, "You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah. Jesus fucking
But
Christ.
her lips are like bright red as well because they're so cut.
Yeah.
What is that? Are you okay with going with that?
I'm all
okay.
for it. I think the,
Leave
the
your
lips
decision.
stay on the sword for the whole journey. So they're always with him.
Yeah, so he's essentially took her lips, and that's his little memento of the nun.
I'll give you them back after this journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's poetry, this.
Okay,
poetry in
so
motion.
that is funny. So, so they spend the night. They spend the night in the monastery.
Sometimes as well, the lips.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
I love you.
He's just like, night, babe.
You're like, over again, you're like, what are you on?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So all I'm going to say is we've got scurry nun, kissing, tick. We've managed to sort that prompt out there. So I reckon
You sleep
been
did they stay that night?
stay that night.
Yeah.
Maybe they had that passionate night of love. Timothy,
She's in agony.
yeah, he's really sore.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Timothy's just like, I don't want to see it. Just find somewhere else.
Just
Yeah.
battering her
I
over an
imagine he's
altar.
quite intense as well. I imagine he's like really,
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had the night of passion, and Timothy's like, no, look, we need to look at how much Brine's fucking seeped out of the bag. We need to get going. And he's like, right, okay, let me just get my sword. Let's go. I'll be back, nun. I don't know what her name is.
Yeah.
What we call her?
Sally. Deborah.
Deborah. Yeah.
Deborah. Right, okay. And now they're on the next part of the quest.
Yeah.
Do we get another prompt in?
I think so.
Towards that?
Yeah.
So,
So
go for
day,
another one.
day two.
Day two.
Day two.
Day two.
You just had breakfast.
Yeah.
You guess what it was?
High off own supply.
And through no fault of their own, dandelion and burdock were out of stock.
Right, okay.
Well, the Emperor's after all of these new products.
Right, okay.
Who's to say that dandelion and burdock, we couldn't bump into them on the way to...
Because they were twins, weren't they?
Yeah.
That's what his name
You know what
after.
I thought? I thought Dandelion and Burdock were characters and they were out of stock what they were bringing. You know what I mean? So it's not the drink. These are two people, names.
Right, okay.
Would they like a gig?
What's that?
Like stock as in like material?
Yeah, as in like they're like produce or whatever.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean?
whatever they've got in stock, they've now not got.
Yeah,
I
I'm
get
just
what you
trying to
mean.
think outside the box.
Right, I think it's a simple case of they stop at a shop on the way.
Right.
Middle of the
Yeah,
forest.
yeah. Well, it's obviously it's like
One-stop shop.
Japan's it's trying to reinvent itself in different ways.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I
a services.
mean? Yeah. It fills up the mule.
Fills up the mule. Yeah.
It takes hours. It just
Yeah,
eats.
just pouring grain in its mouth. Just
Oh, you know the price of grain at the minute.
So little someone over the tannoy going, get off your scroll. Stupid.
Well, Hindenburg, that.
Yeah, just stupid.
Oh, you filled it with the wrong fucking grain. It's not going to move for 20 minutes.
That's funny. That
Wait
is
for
funny.
it. Go on, wait for it. Just shit.
Shit. But I think it's a case of like instead of bringing characters in, I
Right.
think the what's the samurai called? The trainee again?
Sarry Hachini.
Sarry, just Sarry.
It's your name, Harry, just with the two names.
Yeah, well, Sarry Hachini
Don't figure that
is for the first 50 miles of that day. It's just been like, I'm in love. Like I've never met anyone like this, and obviously Timothy's been like, fucking hell, mate. You know what I mean? Just like, yeah, there's other people in the world.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, like he keeps like looking at the lips.
Yeah.
And then they stop at the service station. He's like, I'm parched, me. He says, I'll nip in. He says, you fancy a dandelion and burdock? He goes, what
What was it called?
Dandelion and burdock. He goes,
Burdock, he said.
Dandelion and Rupert Murdoch. He goes, yeah, I'll just nip in, see what we can get.
Yeah.
And guy behind the counter, he says, yeah, have you got any? He says, yeah, mate, we're completely out of stock. But what I do have
Go on.
for you is... Well, I don't know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm just joining.
Yeah.
I'm on it. I'm building tension.
What I do have for you is, what's the Japanese alcohol? Asahi.
Asahi.
Yeah.
You can have some Asahi. This stuff is good.
I like that, but what I also think is, obviously, we're thinking about the next challenge. So I think they've gone into this shop. Can I have a dandelion and burdock? Oh, it's out of stock. He's seen that there's these hot dogs outside.
Yeah.
He's seen that he's heard that there's someone travelling, and now he's thinking, well, I'm only 100 miles away, 150 miles from the Emperor, from here. How can I rob these?
Yeah.
And take them. So he's going, can I have dandelion burden? Oh, they're out of stock. Let me go and check in the back.
Yeah, because who knew at that point that services were going to take off?
Yeah,
He could have been the first one. He's like, it's a risky game. I don't know. Are mules going to get faster? Are there going to be more of them?
I just like the idea of him maybe thinking I can rob these here.
Yeah,
I think that's good. So is it one of them where he's like, he's got Timothy in the shop, or has he got Sarry in the shop, or are they both in the shop and the mule's outside?
Well, they know that they've got to wait because they put the wrong grain in the mule.
Yeah.
So they know
Gotta
they've
wait for
got
that.
to wait a bit. So maybe, like them American films when they're like, and they were just 1 minute and then they call everybody in the village to come and like.
Do you know what I like? Do you know what I like the idea of, Cal?
Go on, tell me.
So they're in the shop, right? They've both gone in for fill up, for get some snacks for the journey.
Yeah.
They've gone in. Dandelion and burdock, please, mate. We've not got none in stock. Let me go and check. He's gone outside. The mule's by itself. They're in the shop looking around. They come outside. The mule's gone.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Plot twist.
Yeah.
Is it close and they can see it in the distance and they're running and chasing after it, or it's like
They're going to follow the brine, aren't they?
they're going to follow the brine?
Yeah. And he went, that, mate, that's why we have him in brine.
Yeah.
Because if it goes missing, follow your brine.
Just truck and trace.
Yeah.
Follow your brine.
Follow your brine.
It's like find my mule for like
Yeah. Well, that's what maybe he says to his mate who's obsessed with that girl. He's like, start thinking with your brine and not your.
Yeah.
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 Never
like
stops
that.
here, mate. Yeah.
It's not all about the buns.
Yeah, I did have the visual image before if they did get dandelion and burdock, which they're not now. But I just like the idea of Sarry taking a drink and then pouring some into the lips, which are still on the sword.
Oh,
like,
cute.
yeah, like some for me, some for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So they see the mule.
That's funny.
They see the mule in the distance, maybe.
I think they just see this trail of brine.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
gonna,
Trailer Brine. Yeah.
And
Do they have any of the Asari?
Yeah.
I-
Do they have? Do
I think.
yeah.
you reckon they drink driving though?
You know what?
They drink walking.
I think they have a side. He says, I haven't got any of that in stock. Have a beer instead.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, I like this. Keep drinking and just get a bit pissed.
Yeah. They
Wake up.
relax.
Another day goes by. They've gone
Yeah.
whoa,
hanging.
like a hangover sort of
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
And it's like the mule, like a dude, where's my car? Dude,
Yeah.
where's my mule?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Journey to find it. But so that the mule's gone along with the shopkeeper. Now it's finding
Yeah.
them.
Do you know what? They woke up and the service station's gone. Like everything's been packed up, and it's just them
Yeah.
lying in a field. Like what the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first question: how did they find him?
how do they find it?
So they're following the trail. Yeah.
Following the trail now.
Yeah.
Maybe the lips help. Like because she can talk and that, can't she?
Right. So you've got that sort of mythic. Magical lips are on there, so they can still communicate via the sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is she speaking to a higher power, maybe?
She's talking to Christ,
And what's she
the
saying?
big man in the sky.
Okay, so you're going to play the nun in this
I'll
instance.
play the nun.
You're going to play God, Harry.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to have this. You're going to have this chat. Bear in mind, she's obviously sex-driven, this nun, and that is against God's sort of word.
Right.
So maybe that's the conflict there.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
trying to get information. You're trying to be like,
Right.
I don't think you should get it.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, big boy.
What you praying to me for, you filthy bitch?
Can you imagine getting to heaven?
Yeah, yeah.
Say that to you. Even,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
God's got a mouth on him.
Yeah. You should be calling me.
Come and nail me on a cross.
That's exactly why I don't answer your prayers, right?
Why not?
Because you make me below the waist feel funny, right? And that's a sin, right? You should be down at Lucifer's.
Well, nuns promised themselves to God.
Yeah, it's all right.
when they
You
say
spoiled yourself.
Right, go on, let's have this combo. Let's have this combo.
You spoiled yourself, you Debs. Yeah, used to be a right beaut. Don't want you anymore. But go
I
on,
just put down the prayer?
while
Like I do with like a
you're on
phone?
your knees,
What do you want?
what do you want?
Yeah, what do you want?
I've met the love of my life. Again.
Again, yeah, I thought I was meant to be the love of your life.
You are the love of my life.
Yeah, well, you weren't saying that, were you, when you were on all knees in the monastery, getting battered by that samurai? As I say, filth you, Debs, filth.
God's so
Right.
angry.
Yeah, you made him hit you with your rosemary beads. Right? I didn't like it. Didn't like it. But right.
Right.
What is it? What you must be needing me for something, right? Obviously,
A mule's gone missing.
right? Classic,
Yeah, the old case of the mule.
right? What part of the world do you need me to look in? Because at the moment I'm over Europe. It's kicking
I
off.
need you over in Japan. 17th
Right, give
century.
me a sec. Let me just put Napoleon on pause.
Yeah.
Right,
How is Napoleon?
angry mate. He's literally just come out of what's it called? Exile.
Oh,
Kicking off.
Jesus.
Yeah. Little
Oh, is he
guy,
there yet?
big temper.
How's he doing?
Yeah, he's all right. He might come up here when he dies. I don't know yet. Not decided. Just angry. You know what I mean? Bit of a buzzkill, I think, if he comes here, to be honest. But yeah, over Japan. Right, mule.
Mule.
Yeah. Any indication of what it looks like?
It's got loads of sausages on it.
Right. Okay. That makes buns as well.
Yeah, don't forget the buns.
Hang on.
Can you see it?
Is it?
Is that?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna spot it. Is that brine?
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Yeah. I think I see your lips as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're there.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they're on a sword.
It was a weird day.
Right.
You know how much I like kissing.
Okay.
And when I see hard wood.
That's exactly why, Debs.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's filthy. Right.
I know, I just got to help it.
Dirty nun. Yeah. Whisper to me.
That's why I'm in the
Do your
woods.
prayers naughty.
That's why I'm in the woods.
Right.
God, it's Gabriel. We need you somewhere else soon.
Right. Okay.
Tell him to go.
I can spot this. I can spot the mule.
Yeah.
It must be. I think it's called Kyoto. I think it's called that. I think it's about 50 miles from Kyoto.
Okay.
And there is a fella who is pulling it along, and I know that guy. I've bought noodles from him. Yeah, he's walked to go.
Oh.
I've seen him. Yeah. Right. Yeah, about 50 miles from Kyoto. I can't really do much else than that. You know what I mean? I shouldn't really get involved in
Could
things.
you? I'm Gabriel as well. Could you send like a star maybe so they can travel towards
that's
a
a
star?
good shout. I've done that in the past and it's worked.
Yeah.
Obviously, that is how we found. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. I'm his dad. But yeah, right. Let me just fire one up there for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
see
go.
it.
Yeah.
So
Now, I'll tell him on the lips. On the sword.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first phone.
Yeah. Right now, if you carry on as you are, I'm telling you, I won't be answering any more prayers, and you'll be down below.
Wait.
All right.
Okay.
So just behave yourself,
Yeah.
and I might see you soon.
Yeah. See you soon.
Yeah, you're looking good, Debs. Take it
Thank
easy.
you so much.
Ta-ra.
Give love to the family.
Right. Okay. I like that. Well done, chaps. That was a nice little improv there. Now what I'm thinking is the stars in the sky.
Yeah. That's up there.
The lips have communicated to
What's
the chap? What's the samurai called? Sarry Hachini?
Sorry,
Sarry Hachini, and then he's told
Timothy
Philay.
Right. So
Yeah.
they're heading towards the star. They need to get there fast though, because we've got to think. I think running. They're not going to get there fast running. Another mode of transport. He only travels by animal, if you remember Timothy. So they need to find an animal, otherwise he can't move. So what animal do they see?
I've got it.
Go on.
What is a big thing in Japanese culture? Is it not? No.
Water.
No. What, water? Yeah.
A dragon?
I thought it was going
water
to say
dragon, yeah.
a water dragon. Right. Okay. So dragons are part of Japanese culture. So maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
But one sec. I reckon God's forgot something.
was he
And
called-
said, you know what? I've got a better idea than a star.
Yeah.
Or at least.
Yeah.
Ring,
And
ring.
right,
You'll call me back
Debs.
Ring, ring.
Right, I'm going to send you down something right now. It's
Okay.
a Pegasus.
Oh, shit.
Right, it's a white horse with wings.
So not a dragon.
No, sending a dragon. Mate, God doesn't have dragons.
It's God.
Yeah,
He can
it's
do whatever he
God.
wants.
He can have whatever he wants.
He's literally the creator.
I think if we're sticking with like the Japanese culture,
Right,
it's
yeah.
part of.
I don't think that's Japanese.
Is it not?
I think it's Chinese, but you know.
Okay, let's go
more,
with Pegasus.
do you know what? They're more
Hey,
koi
there's
carp
dragons-
people.
There's dragons
right?
all over the world.
Yeah. Do you know what? We're gonna go a horse that can fly.
Pegasus. Send him Pegasus.
Right? Sends him a Pegasus, right? And he goes, this thing full of horsepower. Right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Sends it down.
One.
Yeah.
One horse.
yeah. But that over mule power is rapid, right? So,
Yeah, it can gallop.
yeah.
and fly.
So I reckon he sends it down with stump pegs on again, right? And
No, I think he sends it down with a little bar underneath its belly, so that the samurai
paraglide. That's funny.
Sarry's just paragliding while Timothy rides it.
Yeah.
But he's so focused, he doesn't even drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his sword is like hanging on by his hip, so he's just always a bit wary of that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And
Yeah.
she's getting really chapped lips because it's really cold. Isn't it?
Just keeps Vaseline.
He's putting Vaseline.
The bright.
The bride, yeah. Just dabbing it. Okay.
Right, so they're over, maybe they're flying and they see, he's there in the distance.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Pegasus. Yeah, you make the noise. Pegasus is flying through the sky. Sounds courtesy of Callum. Flying over the sky. They're following the star. They see a mule lit by streetlight below. It's the shopkeeper. Sarry is dangling. He's got the sword on his hip, the blunt wooden sword.
Yeah.
He extends his arm while holding on with one arm.
Yeah.
He's pointing the wooden sword towards him. They're about 500 metres in the sky. He drops the sword.
Yeah.
Right.
It's travelling down, picking up speed.
Lips are screaming.
Lips are screaming. The nun's lips are screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It lands, hits
Yeah.
the shopkeeper,
Yeah.
kills them dead.
Does it kill him? Does it hurt him?
Yeah, it snaps his neck, basically. So he's still, like, alive. It was just because it was blunt, the blade. So it's just hurt him severely.
Yeah.
They fly down, swoop down. What happens?
Right. So they're 50 miles from Kyoto at this point.
50 miles from Kyoto.
Right. Okay. I reckon if it's the shopkeeper's now dead. Right. Okay.
No, he's not dead. He's just incapacitated.
He's
I think.
incapacitated.
Yeah, yeah.
incapacitated.
Okay.
They've swooped down. They've landed. I think hot dogs are limited. He's had loads on the way eating them. The shopkeeper.
Munched him, yeah.
Yeah.
How many hot dogs are left?
372.
I think he's been burning brine at night time for his lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Burning the midnight brine.
That's the name of it.
He's just been taking the piss with it all. He's been like, well, you know.
Yeah, he's not arsed. He hasn't. Yeah, because he's from Japan, so he hasn't got as like much suspicion.
Yeah.
or like
Yeah, yeah.
easier to find. Anyway, they incapacitate the shopkeeper. They swoop down. They buy the mule. They've got 372 hot dogs left.
There's no
Callum.
hot dogs left.
There's no hot dogs left.
This is why it comes in with the Mondeo. Using him.
And
Brilliant.
yeah.
He's at them all.
Yeah.
He's had them all.
I think, right, he realises he's 50 miles from Kyoto and it's all gone. And he looks at the trainee samurai, Hachini.
Sarry Hachini.
Sarry Hachini.
Hachini.
And he says, Sarry, this needs to be your first kill.
Yeah.
And
He hasn't killed anyone before.
And he goes, this is why you couldn't become a full-fledged samurai, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I need you to write off my Mondeo, right? And get rid of it. And he's like, I've only got a wooden sword. And he's like, I believe in you.
Goes,
right?
kiss the lips. He kisses the lips and it becomes like a real sword.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, it's mental.
Yeah.
So he kisses the lips.
No. You know what? Maybe it doesn't turn metal. Maybe he sort of like he thinks he can't do it, and then he just has that little intimate conversation with the nun and just says, "Baby, we've got this."
And God's like, stop calling me. No.
Baby, I don't know if I can do this. And she replies, "You can do it. Sorry, you can do it. You can do it."
I've also got a great idea for a bit of a twist.
Okay.
So
You're still holding that sword.
he
Yeah,
gets
I'm
with
primed.
the sword and he goes to kill the mule.
Yeah.
And the mule goes, for the first time ever, stop.
Right.
The mule goes, stop. I'll do it. It's like an honor kill. It's like an honor killing.
Oh, that is Karabuku. What do you call it?
It's like an honor, and it goes, stop. If I was bought as your mule, and I'll die as your mule.
Mate, that is so good. Right.
Yeah.
I
And I know,
absolutely.
yeah.
Right. I loved it because when they get on the knees to do it, right? I imagine like it's proper. He like washes the blade, right?
Yeah.
On his knees. And
It's like
This is the
montage.
mule.
Yeah, it's like a montage. It's
yeah.
in the river, the mule's
Yeah.
just like preparing itself.
It's like that one could speak this whole time.
Pike's playing in the background, like ooh, you know, and he's like got the dagger like that, and they're all watching it, and then go on.
Yeah, and obviously Timothy's bawling his eyes out.
Yeah.
He's just like, please, I wish there was another way.
Yeah.
And then he goes, thank you for this journey,
Yeah.
Timothy. And then
Yeah.
kills him, stabs himself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dies really honourably.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
obviously the samurai's a bit like, well, you know, he was going to be my kill that, but
yeah.
he's a bit salty. Yeah.
It's almost like the mule had the samurai's death.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
in the
I mean?
honour. Yeah.
Like, so that idea of like no surrender, you know.
Yeah.
And he thought, I'm not dying by anyone else's hand. I'll die by my own.
And it made the meat really tender because it was so honourable.
Yeah. Well, it took him ages to kill himself, so he sort of tenderized the meat. He's tenderized himself.
Maybe he said just before doing it, he was like, I'll do it, but don't worry, I won't go all the way to the lips. So, you know, he's not gone so deep because he was like, I don't want me missus' lips in you.
Yeah, but the nun's loving it because she's feeling like the to and fro of the blade going in and out. You know what I mean? So she's like, wow, this is reminding me of Sarry.
Biting a Bible.
And once it's stabbed, she's like, God, that is going to taste so good.
Yeah.
So she's like, dripped on her lips a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Butcher the mule.
Timothy butchers it.
That perfect.
Yeah?
Do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Chops it up.
Chops it up.
I think he's got one last bun left.
One bum.
Yeah. And he puts this bloody sausage. Yeah.
In the bun.
Yeah, in the bun.
Well, right, just going to throw it in there. We've got probably 5 minutes max to wrap this up. Okay. I reckon they've got 50 miles to travel. They've still got Pegasus at this point.
Yeah.
They've got Sarry.
Yeah.
Do they both deliver it, or is there like a final?
Well, what's the last line?
Well, the last line is that's why they sold their Mondeo. So they sell the hot dog.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I reckon he gets to the Emperor.
Yeah.
And he actually, they're almost like...
On the Pegasus.
Yeah, on the Pegasus. I reckon it's one of them where they're like, you almost provide a gift, and he's like, I'm selling this.
Yeah.
I'm not gifting it.
Well, I think there's got to be a slight arc. We've got 5 minutes, so there's got to be another slight arc, maybe. I think they get to the thing. And I think the samurai's got to have a moment where he proves himself.
Yeah, where he does get his kill.
I think he's got to prove himself. So I think they stop him at the gate, and he's like, "You're not coming in." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're probably covered in blood at this point. If you think.
Yeah, I think that's right, isn't it? I think it's like there's like that little mini boss before the Emperor.
Yeah.
And it's like you've got to pass through me first.
Yeah.
And this is
It's like when Obi-Wan Kenobi dies in Star Wars. It's the prequel to.
Maybe if the Emperor has the hot dog and it's got splinters in it.
right because of the
Off the wood. 'cause
yeah
he does
off
it.
the wood. Yeah.
So Sarry Hachini kills the Emperor. And he
Right.
becomes...
Wow.
Yeah.
What a journey he's had.
I still think the samurai needs a kill.
No, but that's the kill.
Oh.
So what he's
Oh,
saying
right,
is,
okay, right.
so basically, they get to the Emperor. There's this hot dog.
Yeah.
He has to sell it. He has to sell it
Yeah.
to him.
He sells it, yeah.
But before he sells it, he tastes it.
Yeah.
Before he actually says, "I'm going to buy it," tastes it. Splinters in the Emperor's mouth.
Yeah.
Emperor's like, "What's this? This is outrageous. I challenge you to a duel."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarry
Samurai
Hachini.
No, I'll fight for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he hears a ghost of the mule going, "You can do this."
Yeah, he's got that inner strength. He's seen that.
Yeah.
He's
He's
built
got the strength of a mule.
He's got the strength of a mule.
Yeah, maybe it's the point in the fight where he's laying his back, like trying to fight, and then he's like, "You've got the strength of the mule."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
And he,
I like that.
He books him off.
yeah, I like, yeah.
And then kills him.
I reckon it's instead of it being a dagger, he like tears his head off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, lands behind him.
No, he runs it in with his head like a mule.
Yeah. Yeah. Tups him.
Yeah.
Tups him dead.
Yeah.
And then everyone around are like, "Wow, you've killed the Emperor. You are now
The Emperor.
You are now the Emperor." And he's like, I will pay you for this hot dog out of respect. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, I'll buy it off you. Because he wasn't going to get anything off it, maybe off the original emperor.
No.
I'm gonna cross your palms with gold. I'm gonna make you a very rich man. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And he sold the Mondeo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
You happy with that?
he's got the nun with him.
Yeah,
Like
as
they
the-
live happily ever after.
Yeah. The nun comes.
He's the only Japanese emperor in history to marry a nun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
and that
yeah.
and that sends a message.
Yeah.
Sends a message.
Sends a big message.
Yeah.
Christianity's here to stay.
I think that.
I think that's a, I think that's a great end.
chest.
Yeah.
No, that's a great end.
I think. Hey, Callum, well done, mate. I thought that was so good.
That was wild.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was good.
Weirdly, not as wild as your last one.
Yeah. I thought that was a proper quest. That.
Yeah, it's
it
great.
was. It had all sorts in it. Just like lovely little visuals. But yeah, I really enjoyed. My favourite character was the little samurai.
Okay, nice. That was the mule.
Sorry,
The
Yeah.
Mule.
Honourable.
Yeah, I liked all the. I thought they all brought something.
Yeah, I'm saying, I could see it as like you could do it without blood and it be a Disney film. That, you know what I mean? In my head, a bit like it had a look to it of like Emperor's New Groove. You know what I mean? When they're on that like quest.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the kind of feel I had for it.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to come back in a minute, and when we do come back, we're going to create the trailer. So what the opening shot would be, maybe like the songs that we hear in the background, and just create a little montage of what we've spoke about today.
Yeah.
So we will be back in a sec. Just a little bit. And we are back
Oh, yeah.
to design.
Where'd you go?
We don't move. We just stay here. It's all for you. It's all just a facade.
10 seconds.
But yeah, absolutely fantastic story. Thought it was really funny. So many highlights. Like I said before, we're going to be creating a trailer, just coming up with some like shots that we could imagine from this story. But before we do that, obviously earlier in the episode, we mentioned about a dragon getting involved, and Harry stopped us.
Yeah.
Because he said that might not be a part of Japanese culture.
I
It
thought historically it would be more Chinese.
yeah, you got confused. You got confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened, Lewis? What
Yeah.
was?
Well, like I said, Harry didn't
Thought they were all
think
about fish.
Harry didn't think that dragons were part of Japanese culture, and it would have actually been perfect if we went with the dragon, because after a quick Google search, it actually said, in fact, Japanese dragons are believed to be the ancestors of the first emperor of Japan,
Wow.
holding importance and significance as a symbol for the emperor, and therefore are highly respected and honoured in Japanese society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Awful.
you've killed our creativity there today.
Yeah. And then replaced it with Greek mythology.
Yeah, it put Pegasus in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
Yeah.
which is somehow less
Yeah.
offensive.
And God sent it as well.
Yeah, God sent it.
Exactly. It was a Christian influence on the story.
It was a Greek god.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you two triggered. You ruined the story. That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just
Well, wait, you know what? You could at least say that we're concerned. We think about
Yeah,
listeners. You know what I mean?
yeah, 100%.
Right. Anyway, Callum, back to you.
You weren't offended, Callum, were you? Yeah.
I was going to walk.
Let's put that at the end. I'm walking, lads.
Get on me dragon and fuck off.
Yeah, parked outside.
Yeah.
Look, Cal, tell them what title you came up with for this.
Yeah.
We're going fighting against Brine.
Fighting
Right.
against Brine.
Fighting against
We had,
Brine.
we had Emperor's New Mule, the Duel, the Mule, and different fuel. We had all sorts,
Yeah.
but fighting against Brine.
Which, yeah, it's good because obviously they were. Throughout the story, it was seeping from them sacks.
Yeah.
Right. So, Callum, highlights of this story for you. What we can put in the montage. What were some highlights?
Well, I feel like we need to show it's like a bit of like an action thing.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
like there's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
going on.
Okay.
So if you like, say if a new film comes out and you watch the trailer, there's always a chase on it.
Right.
Something going. So I feel like the little chase on the mules.
That's it
I feel like we
starting
could
off.
do like a cool like thing
Yeah.
in there, like this summer coming into
Yeah.
cinema.
Yeah. So coming into cinemas near you, drone shot, is it?
Yeah, I've mountain pass.
Mountain pass, right. So we establish the environment, mountain pass,
Yeah.
drone shot, and then we hover, we're still drone shot, but we're cutting to a different one. Below, a mule, and a mule just ahead.
Yeah.
Both very slow as well.
Both very slow.
Yeah.
And then different smash cut, it's like over the shoulder, like chasing. You know, that sort of like
Yeah.
trying to get towards them.
Yeah, handheld.
Handheld, yeah. Bit of motion in the camera.
Raw, okay?
Sharp edits.
Yeah, sharp edits, quick cuts. What music's thumping in the background, do you think? Is it just drums or is it pipes? What sort of instruments?
Oh, okay. Maybe like drums and pipes.
Drums and pipes.
Why not? Yeah. Really?
Why? What were you thinking?
I had Blondie. One way or another.
Oh, right,
I'm
a song.
gonna find
Yeah.
you. I'm gonna get you.
Right.
That's not
okay.
Japanese either, Harry. That.
Yeah, it was about that.
Just check that, Lewis, will you?
But I like that.
Big fan of Blondie was the Emperor.
One way or another, I'm going to find you, I'm going to get you. I think there's a lot of layers to that for this story.
Yeah.
So we've got that. We've got that little chase sequence. What else? What does that go into in the trailer? What else do we see?
I think we see the nun.
The nun
Yeah.
has to be in it.
Mental, just running out the bushes, right? In a quite revealing, attire.
Well, samurai films are quite. They follow the sort of same format, don't they? When you see the trailers for them, I think you've got. They always have like softer moments in them as well, where they maybe clean this. I like to have a softer moment where you see him talking to the lips, just a shot of it, just like him, and then people are like, "What is
Petals
that?"
fall and that. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're like sick
yeah.
trees in Japan.
Yeah.
Like the pink little
The blossom.
Cherry blossoms.
They're the ones, yeah. And just them, just like
Yeah. A lot of metaphors.
Yeah.
just talking to the sword and that in her lips.
Yeah. But out of context, because you obviously haven't watched the film, you're thinking, why is he talking to these lips? How have they got there? And
Yeah.
it's pretty graphic as well. The sort of like still blooded a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Petals ain't covering that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. That little soft, intimate moment with the lips.
It's not all action people that. Wow, this film's got layers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then maybe
What was another highlight?
it's got to show the hot dogs, I think, isn't it?
Hot dogs, yeah. Got the hot dog bit.
Yeah, I think the Pegasus.
The Pegasus hanging from Pegasus.
Yeah, hanging from Pegasus.
Yeah. The Sarry Hachini hanging, gliding through the sky. That could be quite epic. Nice.
Or maybe like a quick shot of like the bag of brine being caught by like a little thorn.
A little nick, yeah.
And then see it starting to come out, and that's when they're like, wow. And they're like, a race against time.
Yeah.
And then
A race against Brine.
Yeah.
That's the name.
a race against Brine.
A race against Brine. We have changed the name. We have changed the name. The race against Brine.
Yeah.
Love that.
Fantastic.
And then obviously the showdown with the Emperor. And I think that's more like, it looks like a situation where they're surrounded. And you think, how are they going to get out of this?
Yeah.
And then obviously we're not going to reveal what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Or maybe an overly expensive shot of them on a boat at the start. They wasted all the budget on that shot.
And they're doing product placement for Sarry.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
trying to get money back.
That'll calm the sea.
But I think there's that shot back of the dad just pretty old on the corner, still like quaint, selling his hot dogs to the hot dogs to the Japanese community. Do you know that sort of like this is his roots?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And his dad goes, "You need to go, son."
Yeah. You have to. You have to go, son.
Yeah, because Christianity isn't working for us.
Yeah.
So we need the money.
Yeah. Anything else what we can think of?
I always think leave the
You
one.
don't want a big reveal in it, like you don't want the mule thing. You don't want that. Because that's like a big moment, I think.
Maybe like one of them nice shots of him sort of patting the mule on the face, being like, good boy.
Yeah,
boy.
friends, yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
sun like just setting behind it and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this sort of journey and that.
Yeah.
Just kisses her
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
lips.
Yeah, on the lips.
and
Like,
it just cuts to God going, that's disgusting.
yeah. God's in there.
Yeah,
God's in
yeah.
there somewhere.
Yeah,
God's in it.
wearing a vest. Just looking down like you dirty bitch. Just dead mean.
Had a dragon ready, but you stopped it.
Yeah.
A dragon in chains.
Yeah.
He's like, let me
It was
out.
like, he's like, get back in your box.
Yeah. We're not sure.
Yeah. But Harry's holding the chain. Like he's in the story, just holding it back. I don't know if this is appropriate for the story. I can't release you, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Pegasus, fly.
Because Greek mythology is somehow better.
That's funny.
Yeah. What I would like is you to attempt the sort of recap again. He did a recap last week on the story in like a trailer voice, and I just thought it was dead good. So go for it again from the top.
I've got a chant right. Tokyo, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
17th century Tokyo. Timothy, second name?
Philay.
Timothy Philay, hot dog seller, receives a scroll from the Japanese emperor based in Kyoto, asking him to try this delicious sausage. Setting off on a 3-day quest across the dangerous, treacherous, samurai-infested territories of Japan. Quickly, he bumps into a man who runs a wok to go. What's his sidekick called?
Sarry Hachini.
Your name.
Sorry.
It's your name. It's every week I understand, but this week it's your fucking name.
Yeah, that is true, right?
So he meets Sarry Hachini first, remember?
Yeah, he meets, taking his companion and trusty sidekick, failed samurai Sarry Hachini, picks up his wooden dagger and heads off into the wilderness. That sounds like I'm doing Premier League years.
Bissell Kobe.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Going into the Christmas period, Manchester United were on form. They're bursting off into the wilderness. Hunted down by another fellow fast food seller, a man with what to go. Sarry Hachini stops him and his muscle by crippling his mule. Later that evening, they take refuge in a monastery with a filthy bitch nun. Mental from her time on her own. She's nothing but horny and tries to kiss young Timothy, blocking it with his wooden blade, not his cock. He's Sarry Hachini.
Was he blocking something with your cock?
She slides down his wooden shaft all the way to the bottom, splintering her lips. That doesn't stop him from sucking on her delicious lips.
Lips twice.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know what else to say. Yeah, bloodied and splintered, they make sweet, passionate love into the evening. The next morning, they set off, needing to refuel their mule. They stop at a garage, sending dandelion and burdock. Quickly, they had an Asahi and then realised, shit, the mule is gone. Following a trail of brine, which is what the sausages have been floating in for 2.5 days now. Right?
In a bag.
Yeah. They don't know where to turn. Sarry Hachini looks at his sword and calls upon his previous lover, the mental nun. Getting down on her 2 knees, she calls up to the big man, God, not pleased because she's a filthy bitch. I'm running an empty. He calls her. He answers her prayers and sends her a Pegasus, even though it was accurately correct to send a dragon. But we all failed to think that was part of the Japanese culture, so instead they got a Greek mythical beast. Flying over 17th century Japan, Sarry Hachini holds his wooden shaft and drops it from 500 feet. Not killing, but really damaging knocking him out cold. Realising what's happened, Timothy and Sarry Hachini arrive back at the mule they've rescued. Knowing that all the sausages have gone and brine is very quickly running out. The mule takes it upon itself to turn itself into a hot dog, performing an ancient Japanese ritual of self-sacrifice in a beautiful scene with cherry blossoms and pipes in the background. It's quite touching, removing him from becoming the samurai he wants to be. Bursting through the palace doors, the emperor takes a bite of this meaty wooden sausage, shattering his lips and causing splinters in his internal lungs. A fight breaks out, and we're not going to tell you what happens. Watch the fucking film, April 15th. There you go.
That is the most detailed trailer. Yeah. Can you imagine hearing that in the cinema?
35 minutes, you're like, when's this film starting?
I think each week we should all have a go at that.
Yeah.
Because I can't do that every week.
I'll do it next week.
That was so good. That was good, though.
I was just trying.
I'll do it next week, yeah.
Yeah. In any voice you want. Right.
Or as long as you deem it appropriate.
Do we all go with the that voice?
Yeah, that voice. I think that's the one.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we wrap this up. I think that's been a great pod.
It's been crackers.
Did you enjoy it, Cal?
I loved it. Yeah. I always worry about stuff like that because I know my head's a bit chaotic, but I think he's really helped me.
I'm glad you left feeling better.
After last time, I was like having words of myself. I was like, you need to calm down on the weirdness.
No, mate, we want more of it.
Yeah.
But thank you everyone that watched, listened, subscribes, keeps telling people, doing all of that. Ben, where can people send in the prompts?
At AllMadeUp Pod. On every social platform. I'm going to do a lot of more posts, I think, asking for prompts. And we need you to send more, as mental as possible. So listen to that. Obviously, we need mental. It's always better, isn't it?
Yeah. And Callum, we'll put all your socials in. People can find you. Obviously, you're a funny guy. You're gigging. Go and watch him if you can. If you're watching in Amsterdam, unreal. You'll have a good time. But you won't have as good a time as you did on this pod. All right?
Well, yeah, that's everything, I think. So I'll wrap this up. Thank you once again, Carl.
Thanks for having us.
This has been All Made Up with Callum Oakley. See you later.
Bye.
It's all